Here is where most AI programs that survive their pilots quietly fall apart. The pilot worked, the metrics moved, the team is excited, the pressure is on to scale, so leadership says yes broadly. Three departments roll the workflow out at once. New people use it without the same training. The connectors expand, the data boundaries blur, and a few months in, something goes wrong that wouldn't have gone wrong in the pilot because the pilot's controls didn't scale with the use case. The fix is not to scale slower. The fix is to scale on purpose with a checklist. Today, I'll give you that checklist. Here are the prerequisites. All of these must be true before you scale a pilot. If any one of them is missing, you're scaling on hope, not evidence. Prerequisite 1. The pilot moved a metric. The pilot produced a clean, defensible improvement on at least one of the 5 measurement dimensions. Not a "we feel like it's better." A measured before and after comparison. Prerequisite 2. Quality held. The improvement didn't come at the cost of quality, customer trust, or compliance. The quality and trust gates from episode 8 didn't trip, or if they did, they were resolved before the pilot ended. Prerequisite 3. Controls are defensible. The 7 guardrails are in place. Logging is on. Connector scope is limited. Human review rules are working. Verification is happening on high-risk actions. You can defend the workflow to your security partner, your privacy partner, or an external auditor. Prerequisite 4. A clear scale plan exists. Who will use this next? In what order? What training do they need? What changes when more people are in the system? What metrics will be tracked at scale and by whom? Prerequisite 5. Scale ownership is clear. One named person owns the scale up. Not a committee, not a "we'll figure it out." One person, accountable for the next 30 to 60 days of scaling with executive sponsor backing. If those 5 are true, scale. If any of them is fuzzy, fix the fuzziness before you expand. Here's the principle that prevents the most common scaling mistake. Scale by workflow, not by excitement. What that means: you scale the next workflow that meets the prerequisites, not the workflow that's getting the most internal hype, not the workflow your most enthusiastic team is asking for, the workflow that's ready. And when you scale to the next bounded user group, not the entire company. The pilot ran with 1 team. The scale-up runs with 3, then 6, then the function, then adjacent functions. Each step has its own observation period. Each step has its own metrics check. Each step has the option to pause, adjust, or stop. This is what I call disciplined scale. It looks slower than the alternative. It produces more durable results. As you scale, you have to standardize. Not the AI itself, the way the AI is used. Standardize the templates, the prompt patterns, the input formats, and the workflow steps that produce the results in the pilot. Standardize the quality checks, the review steps, the spot check sampling, the escalation triggers. Standardize the measurement, the dashboards, the metric definitions, the reporting cadence. Standardize the training, the onboarding process for new users of the workflow, the data boundary refreshers, the recognition for safe practices. Standardization is what protects quality at scale. The pilot succeeded because the team did the work consistently. Scale-up succeeds when consistency is encoded into how the workflow runs, not held in the heads of the original team. One specific area deserves its own focus: connectors. Because connector expansion is where most scaled AI programs lose control. In a pilot, connectors are scoped narrowly: limited data sources, limited departments, limited use cases. As you scale, the temptation is to expand the connector scope to cover the new users. Don't do that without explicit governance. Each connector expansion should be a separate decision, approved by the program owner, reviewed by the security and privacy reviewer, documented, reversible. Treat connectors like privileged access, just like in episode 5. Off by default, allow listed, scoped, tracked. The day you have an incident, the connector log is one of the most important artifacts you have. Now, the most important part of this episode: the signals that should make you pause a scale-up immediately. Pause signal 1, an increase in escalations or rework. If users at scale are escalating more than the pilot users did, Something is breaking that wasn't visible at smaller scale. Pause signal 2. An increase in customer complaints traceable to the workflow. Even one is worth investigating. Two or more is a stop signal until you understand the pattern. Pause signal 3. A near miss involving sensitive data. Someone almost pasted the wrong thing. Someone almost sent the wrong message. The pilot caught it. Now investigate before scaling further. Pause signal 4. Unapproved connector expansion. Someone scaled a connector without going through the governance step. That's a process violation that has to be corrected immediately. Pause signal 5. Leaders cannot explain where data goes or what controls are in place. If during a casual conversation with the executive sponsor or a board member, the program owner cannot answer those questions, the program has gotten ahead of its governance. Pause and re-anchor. These signals are not failures, they are gifts. Each one tells you the program is approaching a limit. Pause, address it, and resume. That's how you scale without losing control. Here's the close. Scaling is where AI programs either become real or become risky. Do not scale because the pilot was exciting. Scale because the pilot moved a metric, quality held, and controls are defensible. Expand by workflow. Standardize what works. Govern connectors like privileged access. Watch for pause signals. Make decisions on purpose. That's the entire scaling playbook. Like and subscribe if this was useful, and in the comments, tell me which of the 5 pause signals you've actually seen in your environment. The honest answers are usually the most useful for the community. Next up, and now we shift into part 4, the executive threat model for AI, the categories of risk you need to understand, and the controls that map to each. See you there.